Breaking news, everybody. Famous passport bro Floyd Wallace Jr. has been arrested in Brazil for child exploitation. That's right, he has been arrested because he is suspected of child exploitation. And to make matters worse, he was friends with Austin Holloman. If you don't know who Austin Holloman is, he was literally the most famous passport bro in the last few years who got kicked out of Brazil because he was harassing the women in Brazil.
You're being arrested for a child exploration by the police of Rio de Janeiro, okay? That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, these allegations are super serious. I have read formal accounts and I've read informal accounts, comments by actual Brazilians themselves. And some of these allegations are very, very seriously debilitating. I'm talking about some people are saying it's not been proven yet that there is evidence of him being with 6-year-olds. But before we continue, I would like to point out that me, as a Colombian digital content creator, and other digital content creators who have also been sounding off the alarm that these group of people who call themselves passport bros are going to our country, Colombia, for exploitation of women and children also, and including LGBTQ, because it does happen but goes unreported, that this is starting to become a serious problem. And now we're seeing that it's just not a Colombia problem. This is a Brazil problem. I hear this from other people of other nations as well. I hear from Costa Rica, from Bolivia, from the Philippines. This is very serious. The Brazilian website global.com says, American man investigated for tourism and child trafficking in Rio de Janeiro is arrested in Sao Paulo. An investigation indicates that a former allegedly operated in Rio de Janeiro using a ride-hailing apps and social media to lure children and teenagers into SX. In the US, he has a long criminal record and is a YouTuber who claims to be a defender of freedom of expression. This is the same Floyd Wallace who was going around filming himself harassing cops. He will literally try to get himself arrested just to harass cops. You know those people that audit the audit or whatever? The news article also goes to say that this happened in the Liberdade neighborhood of Sao Paulo on the 22nd, which was yesterday, Monday, December 22nd.
The Child and Adolescent Police Station. The American is accused of raping and sexually exploiting several children. In conducting their inspection of the hotel room where he was lodged, the police found a significant quantity of electronic equipment, including files containing child pornography. They also seized a variety of items such as pen drives, memory cards, a notebook, a computer, multiple cell phones, some stuffed animals, a watch with an embedded camera, and various other telephone devices. At the start of December, law enforcement commenced an intelligence operation following.
The article also goes to state that Floyd Wallace Jr. is the one who is identified. And basically, the cops had received a tip because an Uber driver or an apps driver felt that something was wrong. He was transporting underage girls, and when he asked them where they were going, they said that they do not know where they're going and they do not know who they're going to meet because the person who they were supposed to meet doesn't even speak Portuguese at all. When the guy arrived, the guy never showed up. They just dropped him off. And then when the police started searching, they started seeing little clues here and there of a pattern of people who were being transported, women and underage people with certain instructions, and they were being left either by hotels, by Airbnbs, or by common areas that are frequented by, probably foreigners. Oh yeah, this dude is fried. South American prisons are not to mess with. Authorities also highlighted that many trips were requested for third parties, especially women and girls, which reinforced suspicions of recruitment for sexual purposes. During the investigation, investigators identified posts and live streams made by the suspect himself on social media. In these posts, he self-identifies as a sex tourist, using the English terms such as tourism sex and passport bro. According to investigations, the man claimed to travel to poorer countries for the sole purposes of having sex, rejecting emotional ties. See, I told you so. How many times have I had people in my comments tell me, oh, a passport bro is different. We're just searching for love. Okay, here you have a person who herself claims to be passport bro, who has also got caught on live, but according to this news article, that they are sex tourists. Okay, even the news is reporting it. Guys, you need to understand the word passport bro in Colombia, in Brazil, and everywhere else in Latin America, and these places that are frequented mostly by these sex tourists are considered sex tourists. You cannot escape it. You're gonna have to create a new label. Even DC-born Rob, who reported on this, stated that he is not part of that movement. He refuses to even be acknowledged in that particular label. He says, "I'm just a man with a passport," and that's how it is. Passport bros are sex tourists. Point blank. The passport bro era is over. You guys destroyed it. You guys have destroyed it. The article also states that Wallace has about a criminal record in 13 U.S. states, and also says investigations indicate that the suspect is unemployed despite frequently traveling internationally. So basically, they just called him an international bum. And who is funding his trips? Who's his funding activities? The incels, the desperate people who cannot even figure out how to talk to a woman, who are sending him money to travel internationally. This dude doesn't have a job. Okay, he's traveling on the dreams of incels, of people who can never talk to a woman, so they can live through him. How sad is that? These are signs that these trips are financed by third parties through donations and sponsorships obtained by digital platforms in exchange for producing explicit content. According to investigators, Wallace used multiple names, email addresses, and digital profiles, and frequently deleted and recreated accounts to make it difficult to track his activities. In virtual environments, he expressed himself as a defender of freedom of expression and claimed to be aware of legal risks, saying he avoided recording videos in certain countries to avoid being arrested. You can run on for a long time. You can run on for a long time. Sooner or later, God will cut you down. If you ever heard that song from Johnny Cash, okay, I'm not saying I'm a perfect person because no one is. We all sin and we all do mistakes. However, when you're doing international crimes, that is a whole different ballgame, especially if he's trying to create multiple different accounts in order to hide from the cops. So once again, for the Passport Bro knuckleheads in my comment section, like Army Travels Guy, who's another YouTuber like me, this is nothing to do with jealousy. This is nothing to do with our faults, because Army Passport Bro guy, whatever his name is, and the other passport bros say, well, you're just jealous and it's your fault because you make it legal. Being a prostitution legal doesn't make certain crimes, immoral crimes. It doesn't. It's not a means to an end. Okay, it's not an excuse, because people go to the Philippines and they go to Thailand where prostitution is illegal. They still hurt little kids and they still delete women and unalive them. That has nothing to do with that. The problem here is a power play of the people who have economic power versus the people who have no economic power. People don't understand is, yes, we have homelessness in this country, in the United States, and also in Europe, but it's nothing compared to other countries, nothing compared to Latin America, nothing compared to Asia or Africa. You do not know the real pain of hunger. So the article, it ends pretty much there. I've seen other articles where he could be facing like 30 to 64 years in prison or something like that. So let's talk about, what are the Brazilian people saying?
Many foreigners think Brazil is a lawless land. However, many things work here. Grape, and especially the grape of a vulnerable person, is taken very seriously. You lost man.
What you see most often is Americans, English, and Europeans doing this type of tourism, mainly in Asia, the Philippines, and generally poorer countries.
American friends, I am from Brazil, and the worst crime you can commit or be accused of is pedophilia. This is a very serious crime. Besides gangs and drug traffickers, if they catch you on the street or in prison, you will be blank. You can lose your legs, arms, and blank like a blank. It is an extremely serious crime. Be careful with those YouTubers who say that Brazilian women aren't easy, etc.
Isn't that the same thing? Isn't that not the same thing I've been telling you guys all along? That the passport bros are lying to you, that the YouTubers are lying to you, that the women in Colombia are not easy, that there isn't somebody ready to be with you at every corner. Isn't that what I've been telling you all along? How many times have I told you people, Colombia is dangerous if you do not know how to move around? I keep on telling you, don't be like Mr. Skylar the Ruin, who's poking fun of the Civil War, okay? Because I'm warning you guys that militias, armies, military armies considered terrorist groups by the United Nations can take revenge on you. Right? But you guys want to go there and poke around and joke around with that, right? And now this guy here is telling you the exact same thing. Brazil can be dangerous if you do not know how to behave. Isn't that the same thing we're telling you, that the women are not easy? These people are lying to you, okay? We're not. There was this guy online on TikTok. He said that 90% of the women in Colombia are easily bought, that they're working women. No, they're not. Okay, that will get you in a lot of trouble. That's what got Mr. Austin Holloman fired. I mean, that's what got Mr. Austin. That's what got Mr. Austin Holloman. That's what got Mr. Austin Holloman deported. he had to leave. He had to run away because they were going to arrest him, and he was going to face backlash from the people. You don't want that. Come on.
Here in Brazil, it has become one of the most feminist countries in the world, and anything can lead to an accusation of rape. They know this is a very serious crime in society, so your life could be turned upside down from one moment to the next. I want to warn you, brothers, men of good character, to be careful when traveling to my country, Brazil.
So what's going on in the Passport Bro world? Yeah, they're talking about it too. And the ones who knew him personally, they're already coming out with statements trying to distance himself away from you. Okay? See, birds of a feather don't flock together, all right? No, you're not. They move together because they have a common goal, which is to sleep with women and to live out their fantasies. But when it hits the fan, they will not be there for you, okay? And there's some deceivious people out there. Before I finish this particular episode, I would like to point out that in my research about Austin Holloman, about this particular Floyd Wallace and stuff like that, I found this website called Passport Bro Santo Domingo or something like that for 2024. They were going to have like a real world episode or film, whatever, or TV show, which the Passport Bros will live together. And I was going through the candidates. It lists their names. It lists their credentials. And some of these people are some of the people I have mentioned: Skylar DeRuin, Austin Holloman, Floyd. All right. I even saw Where's West, and Where's West was a guy that I thought that he was not a Passport Bro. At least I hope he's not. And it said that the casting crew or the people who wanted to be on there. See, when you are a person who has a healthy morality, a healthy lifestyle, a healthy mentality, and you came from a good family that shows and they loves each other and cares for each other and shows you care and love, it's not that difficult. You know, it really isn't difficult. No relationship in this world is ever going to be perfect. But these are people who will keep flying around the world looking for things that they should not be looking for. I have a lot of respect for Where's West. I really hope he's not part of this group. Because he has defended Colombia like me a couple of times. A couple of things I did not like what he said, but yeah, I really hope it's not the case. Well, if you made it this far through the snorting and the grunting, because we got dogs in the house, and certain breeds like Frenchies and Pugs, they tend to just snort and grunt all day long. So if you made it this far and you like what you see, if you would like to see more, please like and subscribe. After I finish my whole little Passport Bro fever, whatever I'm doing, I'm going to make more videos traveling to Colombia and some videos in Spanish, because eventually I plan to have 2 channels, one in Spanish and one in English. Muchísimas gracias, everybody. Have a good day. God bless.